Vylon Station, a major commercial hub operated by Hephaestar Corporation, orbits the planet of Gehenna.
Hi everyone, Bandana here. I hope you're all doing well. Today, on the back of my base game review, I want to talk all about the new Raising Hell DLC pack for Starship Troopers Terran Command. It moves the story onto a brand new planet with some new mechanics and new units to spice things up. It includes a 7-mission campaign and the addition of these new units for you to control and some new bugs to fight against. Again, it is fully voice actors with the usual propaganda style comic/adverts between each of the missions. The story itself takes place on Gehenna, a lava-based planet where a large corporation is mining resources and likely doing other nefarious things. You again take on the role of the mobile infantry, but also this time will play some missions as the mercenary faction, who are employed by the corporation to manage their more underhand objectives, shall we say. Once again, it's all voice acted. The story is fairly gritty, although like the original, perhaps it's a little bit stereotypical of what you might expect from a big corporation in a sci-fi movie or game, though there were a few surprises as to where the story ended up. Regarding the gameplay, how does it differ from the base game, I hear you ask? Well, if you want to know more about the base game, do check out my other review, which I'll link down below, which covers the base game. But in terms of the differences, obviously the game's setting is a big part of the changing gameplay mechanics, as not only are you battling the bugs, but also the environment. In Raising Hell, you will find hot air vents on the ground and active volcanoes that spew out lava rocks to random locations around them that leave the ground burning like napalm, giving you more to dodge as you navigate the map. And of course, these things also affect the bugs, and they can be used to your advantage too. And speaking of bugs, the DLC introduces several new variants, mainly based around fire, rather fitting for the planet obviously. There are several new merc units designed around combating these new bugs. I quite like the unit that can vary between shotguns and a long-range grenade launcher. You'll also find some new abilities, such as dropping down a mine to cover your retreat and things like that. Mines also feature as one of those new environmental obstacles that you have to overcome. Campaign missions like the original game come in a variety, including small squad numbers for the whole mission. Some of them are base capture ones and also some defense ones. There are also some with various sub-objectives after completing the main mission related to the story. The campaign does not really have any massive battles compared with the base game. It feels much smaller in scale, but it does fit with the story that it's going for. I did find a few missions slightly awkward in their design, sadly. Things positioned so it was hard to move between bug tunnels to clear out a nest without the previous tunnel then refilling with nasty bugs, and it led to a lot of running back and forth, which was not the best gameplay loop. I would also note that one of the new units, which is a small walker suit, which is needed to assist with some of the flame bugs, had very bad pathing issues in the game and got stuck a lot, which was pretty frustrating, especially with how important they were. And it wasn't just other units they got stuck on, they were getting stuck on the environment a lot too. I think it's worth mentioning here that the DLC in general felt a bit more micro-heavy than the base game, especially with the environment-based damage traps that you were having to navigate around. And in fairness, I feel like if you're not a micro-heavy player, you may not enjoy this as much as the base game. The audio, like the base game, is pretty solid. Again, you've got a fully voice-acted campaign. I will note the voice lines for the units themselves felt a bit more limited, especially for the mercs, for example, compared to the mobile infantry of the base game. Graphically, I like the new aesthetic added by the planet, and the space station that's also been added in there for some of the missions. One of my viewers noted on stream that some of the new units had no unit icon when they were selected, which I did find a little bit odd. I'm not sure why that's not been included for the mercs. But overall, the graphics are absolutely fine, very similar to the base game. In summary, Raising Hell is a fun DLC in places. They've clearly attempted to make the game a bit more difficult, and in the process have kind of towed the line between hard and frustrating, and sometimes tipped over into the frustrating side, which is a shame because otherwise the new units were quite a lot of fun, as was the general story. I can see the DLC not appealing to every player who enjoyed the base game. There is a lot more micromanagement involved, and most of the missions are much more linear. You don't have quite those big epic battles in some of them. I still enjoyed the story myself, although certainly it's not quite as good as the base game. It's obviously a lot shorter, but in complete fairness, I wouldn't expect the DLC to be quite as long. Overall, I would give the DLC Raising Hell a 3.5 out of 5. I would have scored it a 4, however I've struggled to justify the pricing in my own mind. Currently it sits at £8.50, which I think may be slightly too high for the amount of content included. Had it been £5 or £6, then that would have been absolutely fine. I think it would have given it a 4 without a doubt there, but I do think that it is perhaps a little bit pricey. It may be more worth this full price of £8.50 if you see yourself playing through the new campaign multiple times. Do let me know down in the comments if you've played the new DLC yourself, what you thought of it. Did you find it a little bit frustrating in places? Did you enjoy the new micromanaging side of some of the missions? Or did you prefer the original campaign over this? Thanks very much for watching. Please do like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for more game reviews.